for him. And Ebony, next question.
Thank you. On the Michael Flynn case, Kayleigh, documents released yesterday suggest members of the intelligence community tried to keep the case against Michael Flynn ongoing. I'm wondering if you think there should be an investigation and whether the administration is considering bringing charges against people like James Clapper and Peter Strzok.
I'd refer you to the DOJ on that, but I would say there were some very questionable actions that happened in this case, and I took you through a number of them. And I do think the American people deserve answers, but I leave it to the Justice Department as to how to get those answers. Yes.
Kayleigh, has the president spoken to Michael Flynn since this news yesterday, and do you expect that he will visit the White House? Is that something that's being planned?
I'm not aware of any conversations that have taken place, and not aware of any future plans that would regard Michael Flynn.
Can I ask one more? Larry Kudlow said today that negotiations on the next stimulus are at a lull right now. Given where the numbers are in unemployment, from your perspective, from the White House perspective, why is it at a lull right now?
Well, look, I think Nancy Pelosi should explore coming back and having the House come back and having those discussions. We know the Senate is here. I think it's important for us to move and look at a phase 4. The president thinks so too. So those negotiations will happen, but a big part of that is, we need the House. We need Nancy Pelosi to come back from California and get to Washington, D.C. and to work for the American people. Yeah.
Thank you, and congratulations on your new role.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Following up on Jim's questions about getting the economy started again, does the president see the CDC guidelines as an obstacle to getting the country back up and running again? And if it does not see the CDC guidelines as an obstacle, why not release those guidelines to the public and also follow them as we move forward?
So I assume you're talking about the guidelines that were widely reported about yesterday about daycares.
Yes.
Yes. So I would ask you, what's the definition of CDC guidelines? Is it something that the CDC director has actually seen? I would endeavor to say yes. Is it something that a rogue CDC employee leaks to you guys? No, those aren't CDC guidelines. Those are guidelines in draft form that a rogue employee has given you for whatever personal reason they've decided to do that. Those guidelines are in the editing process. We want the American people to get as much information as they can possibly have at this time. That's why we have the phased reopening guidelines, the data-driven guidelines. Those CDC guidelines are going through an editing process, and when we have those, you guys will be the first to know. Are we on time, Melissa?
We are. That's a wrap.
Okay, what's our exact?
2 to 1. 2 minutes to 1.
Oh, 2 minutes to 1. I'm sorry to cut this short, but as you know, you guys were supposed to be 3 minutes ago with the President of the United States. So I will leave you guys with that. I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Why did you spend the first part of this briefing
thanks so
talking
much,
about
everyone.
Mike Flynn when both the